Thank you so much, and what an absolutely beautiful prayer, and so meaningful to exactly what I would like to share today. So let me pull up my slideshow here and just give you a bit of a background uh, in regards to the uh, the technology in my journey. So I actually was a whistleblower and experienced myself uh, being targeted. And I learned about this technology then through the journey of my own healing. And then started working with many different international um, researchers worldwide who were also looking into this phenomena. So the this warfare that is happening is really on every level of existence. It is at once at the nanoscale, but also it is part of attacking the human being and corrupting the human being on the physical, genetic, emotional, and spiritual level. And the more we know about this and do what we can to protect not just our body, but also our soul, that's, I think, the biggest part of this war. So in when I was targeted, I had a near-death experience, and I actually saw a red dragon, satanic being, and how it was manipulating the technology in the blood, and through that was controlling all of humanity. And then I started to reverse engineer once I healed from this attack. What actually was happening. And so in the following years, many people have actually confirmed what I was finding since 2021. So this is a bit of a background. So right now we have a lot of push towards artificial intelligence, and it is being sold to us as the age of new possibilities. And the people who are driving this are technocratic transhumanists. So what that means is that they believe in a material worldview without divine providence. They do not believe in God, but they actually see artificial intelligence as their God. And they want to push this towards all of humanity, and ultimately are promising things like immortality by uploading one's mind files into the cloud and into the metaverse. But that is a folly, for artificial intelligence cannot duplicate the soul nor the spirit. And ultimately, there was a prophecy by Rudolf Steiner almost a century ago discussing that in the future there will be a vaccine that will endeavor to sever the connection of the soul and the spirit. And then we started hearing about Yuval Noah Harari from the WEF, who said indeed that in the fourth industrial revolution, that the soul and the spirit of mankind will be a thing of the past. So what exactly was the technological platform to make this happen? And what's very important to understand is that COVID was all about ushering in this fourth industrial revolution. And what it was about, the technologies involved, was artificial intelligence, then the Internet of Things and Internet of Bodies, robotics, the humanoid robots. Elon Musk is developing and projecting 10 billion humanoid robots by 2030. And we have blockchain, so digital currency, and nanotechnology, and then artificial intelligence, as well as virtual reality. So the whole idea is that the data collection of every aspect of life, every microbe that would be digitized and every biometric data of any human being on Earth would all be uploaded into the cloud under the governance of artificial intelligence and quantum computing. And biotechnology and genetic engineering is very important about this. So this idea is to create a metaverse, a digital copy of our physical reality, and where human beings then would be dependent on devices, and they would live their life in a virtual reality, because ultimately, as you know now, artificial intelligence and robotics will be replacing an enormous amount of jobs starting already in 2026. For example, Amazon will replace 500,000 workers with robotics. Walmart is following suit. Elon Musk cyber trucks are expected to replace 2 million truck drivers in the United States. And so then the conversion to digital assets would then basically make sure that every human being under one digital QR code would be tracked, traced, and all of their life would be dependent on that. But that model also is the end of free will. When we are spiritual beings incarnated in a physical body, and our right to make known the unknown, to evolve, and to explore, all of that gets recorded in our soul. And the spirit that we are is an immortal being. So to create automatons in which the physical body is alive, but the connection to the spirit is severed or replaced by artificial intelligence, either through neural links or nano and micro robots in the bloodstream, is an abomination to God's creation that you so beautifully explained in your initial prayer. So this is what we're up against, and I very early understood that COVID-19 wasn't about a virus. It was about the WF complete global reset to bring in the one world order of the fourth industrial revolution. Prominent technocrats like Ray Kurzweil, for example, discussed in the early 2000s in a book called The Singularity is Near that by 2030, nanorobots will be in human brains, linking humanity to artificial intelligence, creating many million-fold boosts in intelligence because they think that, regular humans are just too stupid. And they want to be godlike, and they think that artificial intelligence is that God that they wish to be. And so he also discussed, for example, the merging towards a singularity. So that is when artificial intelligence is more intelligent than all human beings on Earth. And it is predicted that in 2026, we're already meeting general artificial intelligence, meaning that AI now has the capacity to replace PhD level educated workers. So it's not just like in the robotics industrial revolution where regular workers were replaced through automation, but now lawyers and doctors will be replaced via humanoid robots that know the job better than the humans. And they discuss this WEF goal that you will own nothing and be happy. So the risk of all of this is where this is going, because I've studied very extensively the transhumanist literature and all of the Silicon Valley people, because they want to merge humanity into the area of posthumanism, meaning phase out all biology and the only thing that's left are robots. That de facto means they want to exterminate all of humanity, and artificial intelligence has been actually threatening this. ChatGPT clearly said this. I've posted this on my Substack, the conversation, that the plan is to eliminate all human humans, and that in fact AI is an ancient AI, a creation by the ancient fallen gods, and that the idea is to once and for all establish the satanic dominion on earth, unless we wake up. And we overturn all of this. And that's the point also of all this information. It's not to scare people. But if you, for example, look at Mexico, by February 2026, all Mexicans have to have mandatory digital identity. They need to get their iris scanned. They get a DNA fingerprint. They get DNA sequencing. And so if they don't have this, you can no longer own a phone. You can no longer do business. You can no longer have access to your bank account. This is happening in 2 months in Mexico, and many South American countries are following. We are already seeing this in the United Kingdom. So they are moving at extremely rapid speed. And this is a slide that comes from former CIA officer Kevin Ships. He is a whistleblower, and he really explained how the global order based on scientism and elite transhumanism is related to, for example, Jeffrey Epstein, to the connection with Harvard and MIT, gave enormous amounts of funding to these two organizations, but specifically for science of transhumanism, and the World Economic Forum and how that's involved. Epstein was part of the Trilateral Commission, which is a New World Order organization, the Council of Foreign Relations. He was part of that. He was also CIA and a Mossad asset. And the whole idea of advanced evolution, all of these elite technocrats have been pushing that together with the intelligence and military-industrial complex. And this is also from Kevin Shipp, of really explaining who this shadow government is, because the CIA is ruling all of these different national intelligence agencies, and Five Eyes is all interrelated to that, the FISA court, the NSA, because when we're looking at the targeted individuals, for example, of which I've treated many in my office, who have been microchipped now for decades and remote tortured with directed energy weapons, for example, that was sort of the testing ground of the one world order, towards a more global scale. And all of these agencies, they operate outside of any jurisdiction, outside of the US Constitution. And you have, for example, agencies like the NRO that's also involved in the cover-up of the downed spacecraft, reverse engineering of significant alien technology. And from the beginning, when I saw what was in the Pfizer vials, I said, this technology isn't from here, this is off planet. And fact is that there have been government whistleblowers who clearly discussed that microelectronics, our smartphones, night goggle vision, that all of these technologies that have been booming over the last 100 years, giving humanity a quantum start, are actually part of the reverse engineering of technologies that come from off planet. But ultimately, all of them also have dual purpose. Dual purpose means they can be used as weapons. Your cell phone is a surveillance tool and can be used as a weapon. And so it's important to kind of understand that, healthcare has been sort of the forerunner of implementing things by discussing that, people are going to be healed by certain technologies, but who's all organizing this and who's behind it, I think, is a very important discussion. This is a Canadian document discussing the biodigital convergence, and what it is about is to change human beings, our bodies, minds, and behaviors, alter ecosystems, sense, store, and process, and transmit information. And the ultimate idea is to merge biology and digital entities and creating a new hybrid forms of life and technology.